Hello everyone and welcome back to the next video in our Fusion 360 tutorial series here for Intro to Engineering. So in this video, I'm going to do one thing different and go find my controls. I'm going to turn on the webcam. Oh, hey, look at that. I'm upside down and on the other screen. Okay, never mind. Man, maybe instead of being a disembodied voice, I could also put my face on the screen too, but sorry, or maybe lucky for you, I don't know. No face today. You don't have to stare at my ugly mug. Alright, so in this video, we're going to talk about adding text and pictures to our designs, right? Like my little heart with the cat and the butterfly here, right? Maybe you want to make a cute little thing that you could then machine or 3D print or laser cut to take home and give to your mom on her birthday or Valentine's Day or something. All right. Let's talk about how we do those. And I think I'm going to start over here on the Titan Kids Maui dog bone. See, there's a little dog picture here, and then the word Maui. Maui's there because it is the name of the Titan Gilroy family dog, and they did the tutorial, and I just followed their example. A lot of great tutorials on their website. I use a lot of their parts in the class, so if you guys are interested, just Google Titans of CNC and go check things out. You can learn a lot there. First and foremost, you might learn, why are all of our assignments called Titan something? Anyway, so text. Right, so you can see I have this cut in depth of the text here in my model. I extruded my text. I meant to open the sketch. And here I have a sketch of a text box, right? And I think if I double click that, I can get back into it. And I could edit it, and my dog's name, the last dog I had, her name was Cadence, so I could change that so it says Cadence. There we go. Right, oh, I've got Cadence on there. That's kind of cute. Well, how did I get the text to begin with? All right, so just like any other thing we might do, we're going to start with a sketch. All right, so I'm going to go up here and say create a sketch. I'm going to select a plane I want to sketch on. So I'm going to pick this flat face right here. I'm going to come up here to my tools, and under create, come down here to text. And you'll see one of the things I really enjoy about Fusion, and I apologize for my voice being on its way out, but if I just hover my mouse here, I get this great little box that pops up, and it says, oh, I can put text inside a rectangular frame or along a selected path that I can use as a profile to create 3D geometry. That's interesting. All right, so I'm just going to click on it and see what happens. And now I get these little dialog boxes here, text, and I have text on path. Honestly, I haven't tried text on path yet, so once you get comfortable with this one, try text on path. Let me know how it goes. I haven't experimented, and I'll be interested to see what you can do. So you may have used a text box in some other form. Maybe you're making a Google slide or a Google Doc or something, and you created a text box. So what I'm going to do is place the first corner of my text frame there. I'm going to click over here and put the second corner, and voila, there is my sample text. And now I can type in there and say hi. Okay, and I have some formatting options, maybe not quite as robust as they would be if I were using a full word processor here, but pretty similar. Right? Maybe I really like, I don't know, Calibri text. I kind of like stencil. Let's see if they have stencil. Go down here to the S's. Here we go. Sitka, Swiss. Oh. No stencil. Let's try that. Well, that's fascinating. So you can go through, experiment with the different texts that they have in here. Maybe You want something that looks a little more handwritten. All right, that's nice. And then how do I want to align it within my box? I could say it's going to align to the middle vertically as well as horizontally. I can play around with character spacing. I can change the character height. So right now they're at 0.394 inches. Maybe I want a 1-inch character. Text gets a lot bigger. And then up here I've got this little wheel. Maybe I don't want my text to go that way. I actually meant to put it like that. So I can rotate it. And I think I should be able to just click and drag on this. Let me just say OK here. And I could click and drag and put that right on top of the little dog icon right there if I wanted to. Okay. I'm going to move it back up. Oh, no. Give me that. Yeah, let's move it back up here. And double click so I can rotate it around again. Let's put it high. All right, I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay. I'll say OK. And when I do text, somebody else might tell you differently, but I generally don't bother dimensioning my text, right? You can set dimensions to your text if you want, but typically if I'm putting text on something, it is purely aesthetic. So I just eyeball it, and when it looks good, then I say it is good, and that's where it goes, right? Like this is going to overlap that chamfer right there. So let's bring that down ever so slightly. We can make that, there we go, do that. Okay, I'm going to say finish text. Now, if you want to extrude it, because as soon as I turn off my sketches, it goes away, right? You want this to actually come out, say you were going to 3D print this, or maybe you're going to CNC machine it. We need to make it a 3D feature, so I'm just going to click extrude, and I already had that profile selected, but if I didn't, get rid of it. All right, just like selecting any other profile, I can go in here and click on my lettering, and then I can push this down, tell it how deep I want it to go in. I'm just going to pick some arbitrary length for now. All right, you are going to apply this to something that you make, and you do what looks good to you. All right, and there it is, high. Word cut in to my part. So this would come out and look really good 3D printed this way. If I was going to machine this, we would use a different strategy, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Excuse me. Sorry about that. In the previous video, I gave you a disclaimer that I might have to cough up a lung. I'm just getting over a cold while I'm making this video. So really that's pretty much text. If I wanted something to be over here, I could say create, and I could select that face, and I could go get a text, and then I could snap it to there. That's way too big, so I've got to tell it to be like, 1/8-inch letters. There we go, that fits nicely right there. All right, I don't know what I want this to say. I'm going to write dog bone. Just in case anybody's unsure. Oh, impact. That's the stencil I was looking for earlier. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to point out, you might have seen this. You can make bold and italic. Italic kind of looks cool. You can also flip it horizontally, and you can flip it vertically. So if you want to play around with these little flip tools, there it is, upside down and backwards. All right. I just want to be able to read it, so I'll say OK, and I'll finish that sketch, and I'll do another extrude. And just for fun this time, I'm going to click on that, and instead of doing this one as a cut, we'll just go ahead and pop those out a little bit. 0.6, let's just do 0.1. There we go. So, okay. Now when we rotate, we've got letters that stick out the side. All right, if you do 3D print this or CNC machine it, don't give it to your dog. All right, maybe you could make it and hang it on their collar. Also, this thing is pretty massive, so you'd have to have a pretty big dog if you're going to put this on their collar. Let's see from there to what's our distance. Yeah, it's over 4 inches across. In this model, I guess you could scale it down. Anyway, I digress. Let's jump over to my kitten picture and talk about images. So if I go sketch, have the cat in it. Let's see if I can get that to open. Yes, that has the cat, which means I probably have in here somewhere Titan Kids 2 engraving right here. Alright, and so I have a couple other things. I have SVG. I'm going to hit finish sketch, and we're just going to flip the heart over. Look at the bottom side. Just rotate that. Okay. So up here we have insert, right? And we can do a few different things. You can do like these sort of decals where you can select PNGs or JPEGs or TIFF images and bring those in. Canvases I haven't actually used before, so we're going to skip that one for now. And SVG. SVG is an image type that my car file is over there. And so I can take any SVG, right? And over here I can upload it to Fusion, right? So here I have the bear silhouette. It's PNG. And then this is the SVG version, which just gives me the outline of the bear. All right, so what I might decide to do is let's use the bear. We'll say insert. Let's say SVG. Right now I have to navigate to where is my file. Right, and insert from my computer. If you're doing this through the Chrome browser app, this option is not going to work for you. Okay, we're gonna go over here in just a second how you can get your own SVGs if you're doing this on Chrome. Okay. But for now, let me just show you how to get this thing in here. So I'm working in the Titan Kids. I'm in images. Oh yeah, I should rename that so it says bear. I was like, what is this? See, it's important to name your files. So I'm going to say insert, and then it's going to ask me, okay, select a plane. So I'm going to say go on that plane, and bam, it just shows up somewhere. And rarely does it ever show up in the position or size that I want. So what I'm going to do is grab my little wheel here. I'm going to rotate my bear around. I want my bear to face that way. Now he's off the screen. He's down here. So let's zoom out. Move. Okay. And then I'm going to grab this little box right here. I'm going to drag my bear. Okay. Move my whole view. So my bear doesn't fit on the heart. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll grab this guy and I'll do this, and then I'll shrink my bear down. Alright, so that's this little blue thing here next to the box. Okay, I'm going to grab the box again, and I'm going to move him here to the center. Okay, the box lets me free move. If I want to only move in one axis or the other, I can grab an arrow. I can flip it if I want it the other way, and flip it so it looks over that way. Right. I kind of like the right-facing bear, so I'm going to go with right-facing bear. Okay, and I got him where I want. You know what? Let's just give him a little more flair. I don't know, just off angle. Okay, better that way. Okay, I'm just going to say okay to that. And again, this is just for aesthetics, so I'm going to say finish my sketch. All right, and now I have this SVG image of a bear stuck to my part here. Well, what can I do with that? Well, I can select that profile inside of there, and I can extrude it up so I have a bear-shaped thing, right? Or maybe edit down here on my timeline. I want it to be a bear-shaped pocket. Ooh, probably not. Let's do maybe 0.4. Where'd it go? Why did it break? Oh, I broke the internet again. Okay. Operation join. I gotta make sure that's set to cut. There we go. Let's see. Okay. There we go. There's my bear-shaped pocket in that thing. Right? So I'm gonna say undo, undo, undo. I'm even gonna undo the sketching of the bear. Take the bear out. Okay, we don't need any bear. And normally wouldn't want to do this, but just for demonstration's sake, get back to looking at where is my in my home view, like all my changes have been undone. Okay, let's say for a minute, let's just set that over there. And I'm going to make a second part in here, which there's a better way to do, and I'm not going to go into all that right now. Okay, so if you're watching this video and you're experienced and you're like, oh my god, what is he doing? I know that there's a better way to do this, right? And if you're watching this video and you're learning, don't do what I'm about to do. If you want to make a second part, go up here and either start a new part file by just starting a new design right here, or create a new component, which is a thing that if you know what I'm talking about, you can do, and that would be the better way to do it. Okay, caveat out of the way. One more quick thing. I'm going to show you. I'm going to go back to my insert, my SVG file, bring in my bear, and I'm just going to select, let's just select this top plane so it's in the same plane as my other thing, and I'll just leave them right there. I'll just say OK, and finish my sketch. And there's my bear. Click on my bear, and extrude, and bring him up, and say OK. All right, now, if I were to, say, put a hole somewhere, I don't know, let's say I wanted to sketch on here just a quick little circle without any dimensions. It was going to go extrude that profile, and then we're going to cut, move this over so I can see what I'm doing. And we're going to go all the way through my bear like that, and put a key ring through there, and now suddenly I just made myself a bear-shaped keychain. All right, so what kind of keychain might you want to make? We could laser cut that, we could 3D print it, we could probably machine it. All right, so that is just another thing we can do. Again, don't do it quite this way. Create a new part file, or you could just put a hole in that and made it a keychain. I just wanted to show you. Any picture on the internet can be your 3D model, basically. All right, and so my timer tells me I'm at 17.5 minutes for this video, which means I'm going to stop, take a quick break. You're tired of listening to me talk anyway. I'm going to make an additional video where we'll talk about how to convert to SVG and how to get them into your Fusion files if you're using the web browser application, like I know a lot of my students are. Okay, see you in the next video.